Hey everyone, my name is Student Dr. Thompson, and today I wanted to talk to you about using mnemonics in medical school. I've got an awesome free gift for you guys. In the link, in the description, find the link. There is a document that is gigantic. It's chock full of medical mnemonics harvested from medical students. A lot of it is great material. You couldn't possibly memorize it all, but it's an awesome tool for reference if you've got a subject or a concept that you just can't find a way to learn it. Check this document out. I'm sure there's something in there for it. And then I wanted to talk to you about 7 types of mnemonics. The 7th is the one I'm most stoked about. I've got some more links in the description for these. So the first one, well, first of all, a mnemonic really is anything that you use, a tool that you can use to remember and to learn. We often use words or rhymes or songs in our mnemonics. And mnemonics aren't anything new. Obviously, you guys use mnemonics. Everyone uses mnemonics to remember things. But by going through this list, hopefully it can get your wheels turning as to new ways or creative ways to use more types of mnemonics in your memorization. Okay, so the first one I wanted to talk about is a spelling mnemonic, where you sing the song I before E except after C, or in sounds that make A like neighbor and way. So it teaches you a concept of spelling in the way that they use that mnemonic. The second one is the rhyming mnemonic. We've all heard the phrase, in 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. You use those rhythmic combinations to help spark in your mind the next word or the next concept that's coming up. The model mnemonic is where you create a grid or a chart or a pyramid, a pie chart type of shape, and you use the spatial relationship and you place different concepts in each of those spaces, and that helps stimulate your mind as you know what's above it, what's below it, what's to the side of it. Then probably one of the more common ones is a word mnemonic, where you take the first letter of each word in a list and you create new words that are easier to remember. So like for the names of the cranial nerves, you harvest the first letters and you create the saying, oh, 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 to touch and feel very good velvet, ah, heaven. And a friend shared that with me. It's one that's just going around. Everyone uses that for cranial nerves or something like that. And then there's the name mnemonic, where it's kind of like the word one, but you just take the first letters and you rearrange them to create one word or one name. So like all of the essential amino acids, you chop off the first letters and rearrange it, and it says Private Tim Hall, another common one. And then music mnemonics. We teach our children the ABCs, and that's a music mnemonic. And so it's very helpful to create a mnemonic, or remember things by putting them to a melody. And then the last one, the one that I think is the most underused, the one that I'm most excited to tell you about, is an image mnemonic. And we've probably used these before, but it's sometimes we forget to try to employ those when we're memorizing or learning things in medical school. There is a company called Mnemonics. I've got a link in the description. Mnemonics sells you access to these pictures, and then they've got audio files that go along with the pictures, and they're bizarre paintings that help stimulate in your mind, and they represent, each element of the painting represents a different concept relating to that same subject. So the example I saw was like a turtle shell, and a rabbit was standing on top of the turtle shell holding a pink spindle. And it was just a type of mnemonic where turtle shell makes you think of a tumor or something like that. So Mnemonics, some kid was telling me about these, and I thought, whoa, that's a concept that a group of us started to use just naturally after we were hunting and digging for ways to remember several different types of immunodeficiencies. We had a test the next day. We started creating different stories for each disease, and then for some of those stories we found that it was easier to just draw a picture of what was going on. And the example that we had that I can think of is like the Digeorge Syndrome. We actually drew a man with Digeorge Syndrome, and it was easier to remember notched ears and wide-set eyes, no parathyroid, and a small thymus shadow. It was easier to remember all those details about Digeorge Syndrome by drawing a picture of it. It's not always the best thing, but oftentimes pictures stick in my mind and in our minds a lot easier than abstract lists of words. Guys, I hope this helps to spark some ideas of how you can use mnemonics and different types of mnemonics in your studying. Check out the links, especially check out that document. It's awesome. I've used tons of those mnemonics from that gigantic document. I hope this helps, guys, again, and thanks for watching. As always, stay tuned for more great videos.